Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Hopefully my audio is totally back now. I figured out where the issue was today. It was in a different jack that I have problems with as well. So I just didn't think to look at that one the other day. It is what it is. Anyway, I guess before we get going anywhere here, breaking news literally just came out as the intro was playing. Apparently, North Korea has launched a missile towards the Sea of Japan. So that's all I know. It literally just came across while the intro was playing. And that was Sputnik. Sputnik, they'll get stuff out right away. They'll push stuff out right away. RT hangs back a little bit. RT has been under, in my opinion, the most fire when it comes to Russia-based news. And so they are very careful about what they post and all of that. They make sure that they got their facts straight and stuff like that before they post. Believe it or not, that's the truth. And they and so there's a lot of times when breaking news will kind of fall behind. It'll lack on RT as far as how punctual it is. It's just because they're making sure that they get the facts. So, yep, old little rocket man. I'll tell you what, I don't know. There's only 2 countries on this planet that I am pretty certain are not a part of this big agenda. And those 2 countries are North Korea and Iran. I think that those are the only 2 countries. I mean, you could absolutely throw Palestine in there as well. I'm sure they're not hip with the New World Order. If anybody knows not to be hip with it, they do. Pretty much what I said yesterday came out. You know, yesterday when everybody's like, oh, World War III has started. I don't know what else to do but to make an example of what they are doing. I don't know what else to do because we are ultimately responsible for their failure or their success. As long as they keep getting revenue, as long as they keep getting clicks, as long as they keep getting attention, they're going to keep doing it. We are doing it to ourselves. I don't know what else to say. It's part of that whole accountability thing, self-discipline, self-awareness. You know, sometimes self-awareness isn't just about you. It's also maybe about the company you keep. And that includes YouTube channels or whatever. I consider that company you keep because in a sense it is. Even if you watch a TV show, that's kind of company you keep, in my opinion, because that's an influence on your life. I'm sure many of you are well aware that it's came out that apparently it appears to be one of Ukraine's missiles. And yesterday there was some dude, I can't remember who the guy was, but there was some dude that was saying something to the effect of they knew the track of that missile the moment it happened. I can't remember who that guy was that hit that nail on that head. people need to quit bullshitting themselves about these so-called channels that care about you. They aren't trying to just rush out there to get it to you in time because it could affect your life that quick. Oh, no. No. Stop. My biggest fear, my stake in this, because I'm not getting revenue from this. I don't have any of those stakes in this. My agenda, my motivation behind calling these channels out is the fact that they are harming people. And they'll sit there and justify it away. Every little thing, they'll justify it away. Oh, well, we want to make sure that we get the information in a timely fashion. Oh, no, well, we're just giving them other options. Or, oh, no, and they'll just justify it till the day is long. We have to have the integrity to say no more. There is no way I would sit there and watch somebody that's just doing nothing but providing misinformation. The first time I hear misinformation, that's it for the video, and many times for the creator. Man, has this world really slid? It really, truly has. Figured we'd jump on in tonight. I do have several tabs open, and just get through it, and I'm ready to be done with the week, and just, I don't know. Thank God the light at the end of the project tunnel is getting even brighter. I'm almost there. So, let's see. NATO aircraft tracked missile that hit Poland, says CNN, which is essentially what I said yesterday. My words were the Pentagon knew the moment it happened. They knew, they knew the details. When it happened in real time, the Pentagon knew. This is how the Pentagon knew. Born at night, but not last night. A NATO plane has been able to trace a missile that fell on Polish territory, causing a deadly blast in a village close to the Ukrainian border, an unnamed official from the military alliance told CNN on Tuesday without assigning blame. According to the official intel with the radar tracks of the missile was provided to NATO and Poland. However, the source did not provide details on where the projectile may have been launched from or by whom. Okay. So let's ask Poland, since that NATO information was provided to them. Let's see. Having a hard time reading that headline. Oh yeah, high probability that Ukrainian missile struck Poland, says Warsaw. One of the two nations that came out right away, raising hell and jumping up and down and saying, oh, this was an attack. Now they're like, it's high probability it was Ukraine. Huh. Imagine that. Imagine that. Ukrainians admitted firing missile near Poland blast site. Now check this out. This is mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing. And remember, somebody, I can't say me, somebody was reporting yesterday this exact scenario. Anyway, Ukrainian military officials told their American and other Western counterparts that they attempted to intercept a Russian missile near the site of a fatal blast in Poland on Tuesday, CNN reported. While Kiev initially blamed the explosion on Russia, Western leaders have since stated that it was likely caused by an errant Ukrainian air defense projectile. Citing a U.S. official, CNN anchor Jim Ciudo, something like that, said on Wednesday that the Ukrainian military has informed its Western backers that it attempted to intercept a Russian missile in the same time frame and near the location of a missile strike at the Polish village of, however the hell you pronounce that, a day earlier. It's not clear this is the same missile that struck Poland, but this has informed ongoing U.S. assessment, Ciudo, whatever, I don't know how you would say that. Anyway, that he added. So, the whole thing is just insane. Insane, right? And remember, I mean, they were coming out. Ukraine was coming out. United States didn't. But Ukraine was coming out. And they were saying, oh, it was a provocation. It was an attack on a NATO country. Huh. Turns out that it wasn't, and it was Ukraine and their own mishap. And yet you've still got Zelensky here doubling down and saying that he's continued to insist his military aid, or military, sorry, I'm just putting stuff in there, to insist his military did not fire the missile that killed 2 civilians in the Polish village of, I can't pronounce that. Ukraine wanted to be included in any investigation of the incident, he told reporters in Kiev on Wednesday. Yeah, he thinks that they should have been in the middle of it all. This guy makes Hunter Biden look like a good guy. Okay? This guy is just unbelievable. Now, mind you, this guy that's crying in his milk, and this guy that's begging for help, and this guy that's, reaching out and thrashing the countries that aren't giving him what he wants, is also the same guy that's been involved in countless photo shoots. He's probably got a mixtape coming out soon. I mean, it's unbelievable. This is bread and circuses. And I'm not quite so sure that all these countries ain't in on it. Now, maybe Ukraine, in a sense, isn't really in on it. You know what I mean? They've just got a puppet government that's been installed, a.k.a. Zelensky. And, so they're just the tool for the U.S., essentially, at least for the moment. This is insane, and I can't sit here and say that it's going to lead to World War III. The more this goes on, and the more I'm watching it, I'm not so fast. Not so fast. They might just be trying to scare the people into thinking it's going to be World War III. So you're ready to give in to any solution that doesn't involve warheads on foreheads. The Hegelian dialectic that they love so much. That's what's going on in crypto right now. You better believe that. They're going to use what's going on in crypto to demonize the other cryptos and other wallets and say, you know, that's just too insecure, too unsafe. We can't allow that. However, we've got you something right here, the same thing, CBDC, and here you go. I really think that's what's going to happen. And I really think that crypto to begin with, even Bitcoin, was they, them, those. I think it's always been them. I think they wanted to get the masses normalized when it came to digital currency. And maybe even get them motivated and do so in a way that they would motivate other people. And that a lot of that happened. I mean, there were people that did really, really good on some of the crypto stuff. They were on YouTube, among other places, and all of that. Other people were getting involved because, yeah, there was a chance to make some big money there. Doesn't mean that it's you know, got a good motive behind it. But yeah, it's unreal. Let's see. But yeah, he keeps saying, he keeps trying to say it was them. I have no doubt that it was not our missile or our missile strike, Zelensky said, according to Ukrainian media, noting that this is what the Ukrainian Air Force commander told him on Tuesday evening. He added, "It makes no sense for me not to trust them." So, I mean, it's unreal. It is just unreal. After Zelensky doubled down again, now this is what the United States is saying. That Russia ultimately is responsible for the Poland missile incident. It says the U.S. did not possess any new information that would suggest a missile that killed 2 people in Poland on Tuesday was not Ukrainian, the National Security Council spokesperson Adrian Watson said in a statement on Wednesday. And I just want to butt in here. I think that a lot of times what happens is like, okay, let me use this case as an example. I think what happens is you have these, and that's if everything's going as is on the surface. You have these nations that they want to see what the other country, what kind of information they have. Like I'm sure that the Pentagon was really cued in on any and all information that Russia had or any ally to Russia. And, you know, they wanted to see what kind of cards they had in their hand first before they played their own. Okay? And I think that's why they took the stance that they did, even in the beginning, because it's like, okay, well, we can't really point the blame because we don't know what other information's out there. We don't know what information Russia might be able to provide or any of the other countries. So it's crazy. Anyway, says Washington remains convinced that Russia is to blame, she added. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky continues to insist that his country was not behind the fatal incident. We have seen nothing that contradicts President Duda's preliminary assessment that this explosion was most likely the result of a Ukrainian air defense missile that unfortunately landed in Poland, Watson explained, adding that the U.S. would not carry out its own investigation of the incident and would rely on the results of the ongoing Polish probe. I mean, you've got the Polish president that's saying, yeah, it's his country, yo. And he's saying, yeah, this was a Ukrainian missile. And it goes the same thing. I'm calling out the YouTube channels and calling out folks to stop supporting the YouTube channels that keep with these lies and misinformation. It's the same thing. You know, nations need to stop supporting Zelensky because the guy is just openly willing to say or do whatever he wants, you know, whatever he has to do to get what he wants. This is the most circus sideshow B-rated movie nonsense that I'd ever seen. Shift gears a little bit. All right. Israel deploys robotic guns in West Bank, says AP. Israel has deployed new robotic weapons in the West Bank amid heightened tensions between Israelis and Palestinians. Remote-controlled guns capable of firing tear gas, stun grenades, and sponge-tipped bullets have been installed in the city of Hebron and at the massive Al Arub refugee camp, the Associated Press reported on Wednesday. The turrets are mounted on special guard towers equipped with surveillance cameras. The guns themselves also have their own cameras and are remotely operated by Israeli Defense Forces soldiers inside the towers, the news agency said. According to the AP, the guns also use artificial intelligence to track their targets. The weapons were placed in the two hotspots that have recently seen regular clashes between Palestinian protesters and Israeli soldiers. Now, if crowds take to the streets hurling stones and firebombs as Israeli troops, the turrets in the towers will unleash a barrage of tear gas and sponge-tipped bullets, sources told the news agency. How do you like that? Hey, how would you like to hear about that getting installed in our major cities, around all government buildings, the courthouses, the police stations? That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be cool if they did that to us? That would be so cool, and I would feel so much safer. I would. Wait, you're not cool with that? Oh. Should Palestinians be cool with that? I'd hope it's the same answer. It's ridiculous and it needs to be stopped. The other night I was trying to think of the law. I couldn't think of the name of the law. And now I can't again. But hang on, give me a second. 1 second. I can't believe that. Hang on 1 second. I'll look it up. Doo-doo-doo. Let's see. It's right there, too. It's the one, it's the law that says you cannot speak out against Israel. and I cannot remember the name of the law for the life of me. And I had it the other day after the show. Boom, it was right in my head. the Islam has Sharia law, right? And Judaism has their form of Sharia law as well. And they have been quietly sneaking it in this country all over the place. And you can Google, let's see, hang on. Contract, and I know Texas was one of the places. Teachers cannot speak against Israel. And I just can't remember what they call that. I mean, the Israel Anti-Boycott Act, I'm sure, but I mean, there's a particular kind of law that they call it, and I can't remember what it is. But anyway, you're looking at it right here. This is insane. This is mind-blowing. Right here. Lost her school job after refusing to sign a pro-Israel pledge. Now she's filing a lawsuit. And this is happening all over the United States. This was Texas. This one was Texas. So, guess Texas isn't as Texas as it thinks it is. I can't remember what they call that, but there's the particular name of law that they call it, and I can't remember. It's driving me nuts. Anyway. Insanity. Once again. This is also in the news. I'm still seeing a lot of headlines talking about recessions both here and abroad, and it's like, dudes, how far down does this recession go? Because I threw a chunk of a rock out and I still haven't heard it hit the bottom. Oh, man. Anyway, U.S. inflation heating up, says Bloomberg. Forecast for the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, used by the Federal Reserve as a major inflation metric, has been raised for each quarter of the upcoming year, Bloomberg reported on Tuesday. According to the figures, based on the median forecast of 65 economists in a Bloomberg survey carried out during the week through November 11th, sluggish economic activity and hiked interest rates will send the PCE price index averaging at 2.8% by the final 3 months of 2023. Forecasters also upgraded quarterly expectations for the core PCE price measure that exclude food and energy costs and the consumer price index. They still expect price pressures to cool sharply over the course of the year. Meanwhile, the chances of a recession during 2023 continue to increase, rising from 65% from 60% last month. The analysts now expect the Fed to begin cutting rates in the final 3 months of next year. Yeah, it looks like things might be about to get ugly, as far as really ugly, as far as the economy. Father lunges at 2 men accused of killing daughter during court hearing. And I saw this article, and it just reaffirms my belief, and I've got a very, very, very strong belief in an eye for an eye. And I'm sorry, if they can prove it, if they can undoubtedly, no BS, if they can undoubtedly prove it, then I think that the punishment should be left up to the family as to what they would like to do about it, and whether or not they wanted to be involved in what they wanted done about it. So that's just how I feel. And I really do think you would stop a lot of this kind of stuff if people knew that those were the types of consequences they might have to pay. You know, the guy that ran into all those people at that parade, killed 6 people, I believe it was 6 people. He was sentenced to life without parole. I'm sorry, chain his ass up on the town square and let the townspeople have him. Serious. I am serious. That happens enough times, this stuff will stop. People just want to keep casting ballots. Speaking of nonsense, spam, you guys had to hear this headline. Do what? What's that? Hang on. If you're talking about that last thing, hang on. Where was the Darrell Brooks? Huh? Was it this one or the previous? Oh. Sorry. I couldn't remember his name. I guess that's his name. Let me Google it. Yeah, that would have been the one. Yep. That would have been the one. Yeah, I'm serious. Tie him up to, yeah, he's been sentenced. Sorry, I had that open. Oops. Yep. He received 6 consecutive life sentences plus more than 700 additional years in prison for the parade attack. So, and I don't believe there's any chance of him getting like parole. Yeah, life sentence without the possibility of it, of extended supervision for each of the 6 counts. Blah 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 blah. So, doesn't look like he's gonna get out. But I still think that you would do the world and the country, and especially that town and some families a favor, just by, tying them up to the town square and just walking away. That reminds me. No, I didn't take somebody up to the town square and tie him up and walk away, but it does involve our town. So, I started this town page on Facebook because Well, the town had 2 pages, and you either had to be a liberal or a conservative to be welcome in them. As a result, I didn't last very long, and neither did a lot of other people, really good people. And so I started one because hey, I know how to let people speak, and so one of the members today made a comment. I'd actually started the discussion, and we were talking about our trash pickup. And one of the members made a comment. In fact, I'm gonna go get the comment so that I can be accurate. Hang on. Group quality. Group has no issues, but they weren't happy about his dealio. Hang on. Aha. Yeah, this is it. Now I've got it open. This is what he said, and he's responding in the case of having issues with his trash service. Okay. And what he said, and I'm reading this word for word, was, "I'm giving till noon today, and then I don't care. I will burn my trash in the fire pit and refuse to pay for the shit service. I could see at first being days off, but going on 2 months now and has gotten worse." That's all he said. That is all he said. Facebook stepped in and removed it. Of course, they sent me a notice, sent him a notice, removed his comment under the violation of violence and incitement. So apparently, that statement was either violent or encouraging incitement, because he was gonna go burn his trash in his fire pit. So I'm thinking maybe Greta Thunberg might have been on duty today, on admin duty at Facebook, and I think he might have just pissed off Greta. I don't know. It's unbelievable, and I kid you not. That's what happened. It's like, wow. Anyway, let's see. This, I just put this up for a joke, by the way, the whole spam thing. Let's see. Since pumpkin spice spam was surprisingly popular a few years ago, the canned meat brand has introduced another unique holiday flavor, spam figgy pudding. Figgy pudding is a traditional British Christmas dessert made with seasonal spices, beef fat, and dried fruit. Basically, think spam with notes of cinnamon, nutmeg, orange, and fig. Think real hard about it now. Spam figgy pudding could be a nice addition to your holiday charcuterie board. At the very least, it will be the talker at your holiday gathering. The holiday-inspired spam variety is now available for a limited time through the Amazon, Walmart, or Spam websites. Nah, I'll pass on that. I wouldn't mind having one of the, packs that come with the spam dice. Because, who doesn't like to play a game of spam now and then again? Unbelievable. Now, the real game of spam is what part of the pig you're getting when you take a bite. Or is it even part of pig? Where'd Bob go? I don't know, but somehow got more weight in the vat. Well, can it up. Can it up. Call it figgy pudding. Compliments of Bob. Alright, got some headlines for you, per usual. This was the first indication last night after I closed up the show. I saw this headline come out, and I was like laughing like you wouldn't believe. I was, because I mean, it's like, I'm not I mean, people lost their lives in this, but the political games, the theater, the lying. And then to make that worse, all of the drama queens on YouTube jumping out and the missiles are flying. Anyway, even the first headline that I put out this morning was Russia unlikely to have been behind Poland missile strike, says Biden. Out of Biden's mouth. Well, it was on the screen in front of him and he read it. Russia ramps up fertilizer exports, says Trade Ministry. French consumer prices hit new highs. Poland hit by oh, yeah, of course you know that. Russia had nothing to do with the Polish missile incident, says Erdogan. Again, he probably knew. His intelligence probably knew the trajectory of that missile. NATO aircraft tracked missile that hit Poland, says CNN. Oh, I covered that one. CIA director meets Zelensky, says media, and that's not strange. That is not strange. Knock it off. It doesn't mean anything when the CIA is going over there and talking. I mean, because they're just an organization like, Girl Scouts. Think of them as government Girl Scouts. That's all. U.S. inflation heating up, says Bloomberg. Oh, I covered that one too. 10 million Ukrainians without power, says Zelensky. Drone strikes oil depot inside of Russia, says governor. North Korea sends warning to Japan. Russia's FSB reveals why it detained Polish citizen. Let's see. Missile that hit Poland was Ukrainian, says Moscow. Germany completes first LNG import terminal. Covered that one. Poland missile incident is step towards World War III, said Medvedev, and I don't know why he said that. I don't think it's any closer to any more escalation at all. I don't. I think it's moot. Let's see. Moscow mocks Zelensky allegations. Eurozone facing deep recession, says economists. A no-fly zone in Ukraine not on the table, says Germany. Biden pins responsibility for Poland missile incident, says Reuters. UK inflation hits 41-year high. Oil tanker hit by drone in Gulf of Oman, says media. No indication that Russia has plans to attack NATO, says Stoltenberg. Even NATO's coming out and saying, we're not seeing anything. It's messed up. And yet Zelensky still, oh no, they did it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Kremlin reveals if Putin will send birthday greetings to Biden. Biden just wants a lock of his hair to sniff. That's all. Just send Biden a lock of your hair, Putin. Preferably your pubic hair. He would probably like that most. Kevin Spacey slapped with more sex charges. American attempts to preserve hegemony will only make the transition to a new world order harder for Washington. Nah, I've got a story. My next story here is about being harder for Washington. The Russian cameraman impresses Biden. Oh gosh, you got it. No. U.S. President Joe Biden told Russian cameraman Yuri Shalmov that he was worried about his bulging biceps and that he hoped the Russian was on the same side as him. Where is oh yeah. Awed by Yuri Shalmov's biceps, the U.S. leader moved in for a squeeze. I'll bet anything he snipped his hair. Oh, wait. We've got video.
His biceps are big as my calves. Look at this. There's a man. I hope we're on the same side.
He's Russian.
I don't care who he is. He's got some real biceps. We call
Dude.
them guns.
And this is good for training.
Are you even for real? I hadn't watched that before. That's the first time I saw that. Are you for real? We got to hear that again. I'm sorry. It's 24 seconds.
By the way, I very much worry about this guy's biceps. His biceps are big as my calves. Look at this. There's a man. I hope we're on the same side.
He's Russian.
I don't care who he is. He's got some real biceps. We call them guns.
And this is good for training.
The man is so far out of it. Completely out of it. It's unreal. It's unreal. UK minister asked to be investigated. Investigate me, yo. NATO member should guard part of Ukrainian airspace, says general. Canadian PM deletes viral tweet about Iran. That was kind of funny, too. Oh, yeah, that's on here. Moscow names conditions for extending grain deal. Russian oil deliveries to Hungary resume, says FM. Here's what I was talking about. Z roasts Canadian PM at G20. That was hilarious. Crypto totally corrupt, says Noel Rubini. And I would agree. Ukraine admits firing missiles near Poland. I did read that one earlier. Poland wants Russian oil despite EU embargo, says Commerçant. Army veterans urged to work at iPhone factory, says the media. I guess they think they'll be less likely to commit suicide, maybe. These aren't U.S. military. This is Chinese. This is like PLA military. So, don't think I'm talking about U.S. veterans. Zelensky doubles down. I mean, I know that doesn't make a difference. It's still human beings. But it's human beings that are making the choice to, number one, live in the type of country they live in. And number two, if they go work for the iPhone factory, they made that choice. So, Zelensky doubles... cover that. Russia felt no isolation at G20, says finance minister. Airline bans gender-neutral uniforms on World Cup flight. Unbelievable. The whole idea of all this nonsense. U.S. says Russia ultimate... yeah, I covered that. missile incident was Ukrainian provocation, says a Polish politician. So you even have Polish politicians saying that Ukraine was trying to provoke stuff. Multiple terrorist attacks reported in Iran. Russia bans entry to Irish PM and dozens of officials. Okay, hang on. Let me get this tweeted out. And the spam. And then this is what I just tweeted out here. North Korea vows fierce military response to U.S. drills. Says here North Korea has pledged to step up its responses to the American and allied military drills on the Korean Peninsula, saying a recent flurry of exercises have only served to drive up tensions in the region and would prompt fiercer countermeasures. In a statement carried by the state-run Korean Central News Agency on Thursday, Foreign Minister Cho Sun-hyu commented on a summit held between Washington, Seoul, and Tokyo over the weekend, where the allies vowed to strengthen military deterrence against the DPRK following weeks of contentious drills and a series of missile, rocket, and artillery tests by Pyongyang in response. Cho said increasingly tight security ties between the three states, as well as recent large-scale war exercises for aggression, would only drive the situation on the Korean Peninsula into a more unpredictable phase. The more the U.S. concentrates on strengthening the provision of extended deterrence to its allies, and the more provocative and pretentious military activities it strengthens on the Korean Peninsula and in the region, the fiercer our military response will be in direct proportion to it, the FM went on, adding, America will realize that it is taking a gamble it will regret and will soon approach us as a more serious, realistic, and inevitable threat. That's something to keep an eye on. Not freak out about, not we're all going to die tomorrow, but keep an eye on it. You know, I think if something was to truly happen, say EMP-ish, I really think that there's a 90% chance if there was an EMP that it would either be done by our own government or by North Korea. Iran, possibly. I don't see China going that route, and I don't see I don't see Russia going that route. However, possibly, I could see that would be a good Hegelian dialectic for a whole bunch of situations. If they convinced, say, North Korea to launch an EMP attack on the United States, you know, let one or two slip in, take down a good portion of the grid, and everything that falls from there. I could absolutely see deals being made for that. We've been sold out. We were long sold out, folks. We've been long sold out in every way you can imagine. Why the only thing that matters is how you can respond, how you can sustain yourself when things really get upside down. It's crazy. Anywho, that's what I got. Figured we'd make it a simple night. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have the rest of, well, I'm pretty much in the cleanup phase of all the projects is pretty much where I'm at. So hopefully I've got that all wrapped up tomorrow, and then I'll probably have a day or two breather. I might do a bit of flying for a day or two, and then start looking for the next projects I have to get done or want to get done. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. I hope everybody has a good night. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow, and I hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.